How's it going, Top Forest TV? My name is Jack, and welcome to my preview for Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth, taking place, at the City Ground tomorrow. Well, today, actually. Yeah, we're looking forward to this one. I think it's a game that we need to win. You know, off the back of that absolute drubbing by Manchester City, we need a win where it brings morale back up. We kind of feel a bit more, confident in ourselves, and we're not sort of down in the dumps after being absolutely pumped. We're a bit more buoyant, a bit more, we can do this, we can stay in this division. And I think, Bournemouth at home, it doesn't get much easier than that in the Premier League. I think they're probably the easiest challenge. Obviously you're never going to get an easy game in the Premier League. If you're in our position, obviously for Man City, every game's easy bar a couple. But no, I think it's a game that we should be going out there and winning. I think if you want to stay in this division, you have to beat teams like this. Sorry about that. We have to be beating the likes of Bournemouth, and I think at home we can definitely do that. The fans need to make an absolute racket, as we know that they can do. But I think if we can play our game and assert our dominance on the match and play Cooper ball the way that we know he can play it, then we should be absolutely fine. A few question marks over the attacking players within the squad. With the lack of goals, we haven't scored in our last two accounts against Spurs and Man City. Man City, we hardly had a single chance, which is fair enough. But then Tottenham, we had a good couple of chances, but just couldn't seem to do anything in terms of finding the target. I think we had one shot on target, which was a long ranger from O'Brien. So I think, we need to work on that aspect of it. But I can definitely see us getting 3 points from this one. I'm thinking something like 2-0. I know Bournemouth come off the back of a good draw against Wolves. A 0-0 draw, clean sheet. That will bring them a bit of confidence. But going into this one, I'm feeling like we can get something out of it. We definitely need to. We've got a good month coming up, a big month coming up in terms of sort of teams that you look at. Maybe it's a bit more than a month. But you look at it and think, we could really start to accumulate some points. We've got the likes of Bournemouth on Saturday today. We've got Leeds away coming up on next Monday. Then we've got Fulham, I think, at home, which those two are tricky because they have had decent starts to the season, but we could again get something from that. Then you've got sort of the likes of Brentford, Villa, Leicester, Wolves, not in that particular order, but winnable fixture where we can definitely look at that and think there's points to gain in those games. A singular point, 3 points. We'll take anything that we can get really in this league, and we've got to go out there tomorrow, or I keep calling it tomorrow. It's today now. We've got to go out there today and get all 3 points and really put in a good performance. It's going to build morale back up. Build them the mental aspect of the game back up. It's a lot of it is about mentality and how things are going on in your head. If you're confident, you're going to try things that maybe you wouldn't try if sort of the team's getting on your back. You see it a lot with like Man United, for example. Some of their players are scared to be on the ball. They're getting rid of the ball as quick as they can because they don't want to get under pressure from the fans. They don't want to get criticised. And, that's not in the position that Forest fans are going to be in, putting a lot of pressure on the players. It's been a decent start, if you will, barring the Man City game where we got absolutely battered, but you were kind of expecting that. I think, they're not going to get on their back straight away, but we want them to have a win where it sort of refreshes their mind, refreshes the spirit within the camp, and helps them to go up and go again, which I think is really important that they do that. We really got to work to make sure that happens, and the fans have really got to make an absolute racket and really be behind the boys. And I think the home games are going to be huge for us. Maybe the big six teams might be a bit of a stretch. Maybe we could get some against United, potentially Chelsea, not having the best of seasons, but I think, teams like Bournemouth, teams like maybe Fulham, maybe Brentford, maybe your your Wolves and your Villas, we could maybe get something against them at home if we make absolute racket and the fans just make it such a cauldron and an intimidating place to be. And I think that's something that we're going to have to work on against Bournemouth. Really going to have to make sure that the fans are on it, which the City Ground will be. There's nothing to suggest that won't happen. We've had a lot of compliments from travelling supporters saying how loud our fans are, even from home fans when we've gone away. So I think There's going to be no problem with that, but we've got to be on fine. Well, I say we. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be at the game, but they've got to be on fine form and really making as loud of a noise as they possibly can do. But yeah, like I say, big game this. Bournemouth are, off the back of the last two performances, a 9-0 loss to Liverpool, and then obviously they drew against Wolves. They've got a new manager, no, they haven't got a new manager, sorry, they've got no manager, so they haven't got a new manager bounce. As far as I'm aware, I don't think they've got a new manager, so I don't think they're going to have a new manager bounce per se, but the fact that Scott Parker's gone, rightly or wrongly, I think he was a bit unfortunate, to be honest with you, but that's football for you. I think it was to do with the comments that he'd made on the owners and the lack of backing and that kind of thing, which you can't say about Forest. Cooper's been back to the hill and back, yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what mindset their players are in, whether they're sort of thinking, we've not got a manager, I don't really know what's going to happen here, or whether they're thinking, we're going to have a manager coming in, we need to show what we're made of and why we should be starting for a new manager. So it could be that kind of thing. They'll look at this game and say it's one that they should be winning. So, we need to be assertive, dominant on the front foot, not be afraid, not be worried about, conceding or whatever. We just need to play football the way that we know we can. It's not a championship game, because the two squads, well, definitely our squad is probably better than championship level. Not sure about Bournemouth. It's decent, but probably not as strong as ours. But I won't say it's a championship game, but it's obviously two newly promoted sides. We can attack it as if it was kind of a game where we are a dominant side in the league, if you know what I mean. Like, we don't have to set up as like, we're a newly promoted side. We can play this game as in, this is a game that we would have played last season kind of thing when we were dominant. So I think, you got to take this game and really go for it and really show what we're made of and really just get that 3 points and put in a performance that the boys can sort of look back on and think, yeah, that's a springboard to fly off when we've got some big games coming up this month. So yeah, in terms of the lineup, it's a bit of a difficult one to predict, really. I think Henderson will be in goal, Williams will be at wing back, and then we'll have probably Renan Lodi starting on the left. The three centre backs, I don't know. I mean, I love Joe Worrell, don't get me wrong, and I wouldn't want to drop him because he's a club captain and things, but didn't have the best of games, did he, against Man City? I'm not saying that many players did, but he did struggle a little bit, bless him. I think he's not going to be the only centre-back that struggles against Erling Haaland. I think he's probably going to start, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. I think you're going to go Worrell. Is it Bade, the new centre-back? I don't know whether he'll start, but I think he probably will in the middle of the three, because we had to play Checo Kouyaté there, and he can play centre-back, but we are sort of needing to play a centre-back there now. Niakate is injured. And then probably McKenna on the left. Of the three, the midfield two, if Mangala's back, I'll play Mangala. If he's not, I'll probably go with Freuler and O'Brien, potentially, maybe Yates. And then I prefer, for me, the sort of attacking midfielder with the two strikers. So I'd probably go with maybe Lingard, and then the front two being Johnson and Awoniyi. I'll probably go with something like that. I think that might be how we look to pan out, or how I think we should look to start anyway. But it's really interesting. Maybe even see Dennis up front alongside Awoniyi. That could potentially be the case. But yeah, really looking forward to this one, and it's a big game. We need to win it. Bournemouth, I'm not sure what sort of style they played against Wolves, but obviously under Scott Parker, they had that distinctive Parker ball brand. But you can't really say whether it's going to be like that or be like something different, because obviously there's no manager in charge now. But yeah, really interesting to see how this one pans out. We need to get all 3 points. I really hope we do. Let us know down in the comments what you think is going to happen. Like the video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are new around here. And please, come on you Reds, let's get a big, big win in the Barclays Premier League. Well, not Barclays, but you know what I mean. Come on you Reds.